Could it finally be that at the end of this year, there will be a no-deal, clean break from the EU? As followers of this channel will know, I thought it's more likely a deal will be done than not. And of course, there's still the possibility, even at this late stage, perhaps that there will be a deal done. But Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying today, really saying two really interesting things. First of all, describing a no deal now as very, very likely. And also describing that outcome as being wonderful for this country. Going to bring you all the very latest in this report, guys. But please start off, as ever, by hitting the subscribe button and the bell. Would really appreciate it. And of course, hit the thumbs up to support the channel. Would really appreciate that as well. Now, in an interview today, Boris saying that it is looking very, very likely that we'll have to go for a solution that I think will be wonderful for the UK and would be able to do exactly what we want from the 1st of January. And of course, that is the essence of Brexit. Independence. The ability to act outside of EU control, outside completely, in the case of no deal, outside completely of the EU's rulebook. Boris went on to say it obviously would be different from what we'd set out to achieve, but I have no doubt this country can get ready, as I say, come out on world trade terms. Now, I tweeted, highlighting the fact that this outcome would mean no EU rulebook and independence, and amongst those who replied was Maya Tozy, who also said Boris isn't wrong. Now, interesting enough, you've got to understand, the UK side has been asking for a trade deal. And what the EU have effectively tried to throw in is a whole load of political control, a ridiculous status quo on fisheries, essentially a punishment deal. And this is what Boris had to say today on this today. He said, unfortunately, at the moment, as you know, there are two key things where we just can't seem to make progress. And that's this kind of ratchet clause they've got in to keep the UK locked in to whatever they want to do in terms of legislation, which obviously doesn't work. And then he said there is the whole issue of fish. We've got to be able to take back control of our waters. So there is a long way to go. We're hopeful that progress can be made. So Boris there, he's not ruling out that a deal is still going to be done. But he is saying that he now thinks it's very, very likely, and describing, as I say, the opportunity of no deal, of being able to have real autonomy and control. Now, there is some agreement with the EU. There's agreement, seemingly, as the Times report, that a no-deal Brexit is now the most probable outcome, more probable than finding an agreement on fishing and the so-called level playing field competition rules. Ursula von der Leyen, of course, EU Commission President, warned EU leaders this morning in a downbeat assessment after an all-night EU summit. It's the European Commission President said the prospects of finding a trade and fishing deal this weekend were diminishing. Higher probability for no deal than a deal, she told EU leaders. Positions remain apart on fundamental issues, she said after the summit. Our negotiators are working. We will decide on Sunday whether we have the conditions for an agreement or not. One way or another, in less than 3 weeks, it will be a new beginning for old friends. And of course, after the deadlines we've seen come and go time and time again, of course, on this channel, most famously, the 15th of October deadline that I highlight, that Boris Johnson made very clear there had to be a deal by the 15th of October or the UK would move on. Well, now it's this Sunday. Could it extend beyond that? I mean, that's got to be a possibility, something I don't think the government are ruling out. I think it's just worth highlighting in terms of these negotiations, because as ever, we've had a lot of Project Fear. But just remember, the EU stance in these negotiations is fixated, and we've seen that these people notice this more and more, on this so-called level playing field. And journalists have finally, in the UK, come round to highlighting the fact that the EU fears here competitive advantage, or what they describe as unfair competitive advantage, what I describe as Brexit competitive advantage. So the very fact that they fear that shows you that there are advantages, huge advantages, that can be taken if you break out of the EU's orbit and effectively don't have an EU rulebook, which all the countries inside the EU have to adhere to. The UK wouldn't have to adhere to it. It would be free to do things outside of that rulebook, thus gaining competitive advantage. And of course, when it comes to fisheries, under no deal, we'll be taking back 100% of what is rightfully ours, not the pathetic, insulting offer that we had of between 15 and 18%. No, thank you very much. We'll take back control. We'll have 100%. That's rightfully ours. Now, Jake Pugh, my former Brexit Party MEP colleague, he actually set out a sort of plan, a few ideas about the opportunities of no deal coming out on world trade terms. And he said that he was expecting Chancellor Rishi Sunak to announce a package of measures to boost the UK economy. Measures disallowed, of course, within the single market. Hashtag Brexit bonus, as Jake Pugh says there. And here are his ideas. Let me know what you think of this, guys. And let me know if you've got any other ideas that you think should go forward from the British government fully outside of EU rules. He said reduce VAT on domestic fuel to 0, lower tariffs on staple food/clothing, all to reduce cost of living for poorest in society, announce creation of free ports and offer tax breaks, incentives, apprenticeship schemes to encourage investment in fishing/coastal communities. And we should see a big boost of jobs in those areas, having taken back full control of our waters, of our fishing waters. Encourage new inward investment via tax breaks, incentives, undercut corporation tax rates in all EU countries. And that's something that clearly the EU fear, is this attempt at undercutting. Well, that's the competitive advantage of not being within the EU's rules. Target new digital industries, education and training, create strategic industries, fish/steel/defence, and change procurement rules to incentivise selection, he said, of UK firms/products. And finally, massive Buy British campaigns to support agricultural/fishing sectors, change food packaging to so British produce more clearly marked. Hashtag Brexit bonus. As I said, guys, interested to hear what you make of those suggestions from Jake Pugh. And if you've got any yourself, please do let me know. Now, thanks to to the members here, supporters here on the channel who have hit that join button. If you do want to support my work, hit the join button, guys. See the link in the top pinned comment. I'm going to be doing lots more readouts over the next days and weeks as we go ahead. I asked my supporters, do you think Boris is going to essentially deliver a clean break, no deal or not? Chris, thanks for your support, Chris, saying clean break is the only way forward. A deal now can only be a sellout. Ian, no deal is likely and best. The EU only wants to punish us. And Brian, I hope nothing is agreed until everything is agreed, so that in the event of no deal, Boris can reject the lot, tearing up the withdrawal agreement. But I fear a mishmash with long-lasting, he says, EU problems and goodbye full sovereignty. One thing's for sure, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has gone further in saying that no deal is likely than really I've seen before, saying again it's very, very likely and that it would be a wonderful outcome and we'll be able to do exactly what we want from the 1st of January. I want to know from you in the comments below. What do you make of all of this? Do you want Boris to go ahead with no deal? Do you think he's going to push ahead with a clean break? What do you make of what he said today? And what do you make of the chances of a deal still being done? Let me know what you think is going to happen, guys. Let me know what you want to happen. And of course, as ever, if you want to support me here on the channel, do give this video a big thumbs up. Would really appreciate that. And as I said, you can hit the join button to become a member of the channel. I'm going to be doing lots more readouts, as I said, and see the link in the top pinned comment as well there. And of course, guys, as ever, thank you so much for watching.